What's this?
Take a look. Give us a rundown.
Give you a rundown of what?
Where we going? What we doing?
I've never been here. I don't know. Ask the best boss man. It's called Superica? Super Superica?
What up, boy? Oh, what's up, y'all?
Welcome back to the vlog.
What's up? All right, so today we made some content. I woke up, got Joe Man some donuts because, you know, he needed his donut. Backyard again. And then what did we do after that? We made the content, you know what I'm saying? Some fiery content. And now we're about to fill them bellies up, okay? We're about to fill it up till I overflow, okay? I want to run. Come on, Kyra.
Your backyard friends, the backyard. Let's go, y'all.
So Joe had the wonderful idea of doing a Q&A, so here we are.
For you, what was the hardest thing about dating? Dating me.
Hardest?
Or yeah. Or the most challenging. Let's put it like that.
I don't think it was just because I was dating you, but I was just learning how to communicate and properly communicate. But I don't think that was just a him thing. That was just in general. Because I used to be, I've gotten much better. Would you say?
Yeah.
You was a little hesitant on that.
You know, I'm listening to you talk.
I've gotten much better as like communicating, and even try like communicating my feelings.
Okay, how did you communicate before versus now?
Before, when something upset me or made me a little, if I was bothered,
Angry.
if it really bothered me, like it was really bothering me, instead of talking about it, I would just be like really petty. Now this was not, I'm not even talking about dating him. I'm just saying in general, I will block people. No, that's not a story. That's actually true. Now when I got to college, that dwindled out. Really my senior year of high school, that kind of dwindled out. Because I was just like, okay, what are you benefiting from blocking somebody? Because then you have to go back and unblock them, and then you gotta. But before then, I would be real petty, or I would just, when we started dating, I would be very short. Like if something made me mad and started talking about it, I'll be short for days. And then if we did talk about it and it like had got on my nerves, I would either blow up or I'll just, you know, be short or quiet. But now we've gotten to the point, you know.
So how's it now?
Now, sometimes depending on like the situation, I'll need some time to just process before we come back to it. Other times I can talk about it then, and we can move on, probably laugh afterwards. So yeah. Amen. What about you? What was your hardest part of dating me?
I think
Honestly, she was just so perfect. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I think like pursuing you.
Wow.
You made it hard.
Oh. I thought she was like finna really say something.
Y'all don't even understand. She wanna give no brother no nothing.
It's okay. Because we 3 years in now?
But honestly, I felt like in a way I kind of needed that because it re-taught me. Because
How
my
to?
dating and messing with girls up until like Kyra
Right.
was just completely wrong.
Right. And I was the type of person, you gonna work for it. I'm just
Right.
I'm not a hand-me-down.
I'm not saying this to
I'm
brag.
not a business card. You're not just gonna take and leave. That's no.
And I'm not
I
saying
handle
this.
with care.
I'm not saying this to.
Fragile, not like that. But you get what I'm saying?
I'm not saying this to brag or anything either. But like the women up until that point, like it was kind of there was no pursuit, and things came easy, easier.
Understood.
So when I came across Kyra, Lord Jesus, it was hard to.
What they said on The Color Purple. I've been working.
Like we started talking, I think in October, and give or take October, and we didn't actually officially start dating until June. That's a long time just to. But honestly, though, it kind of prepped you for marriage too, because in a sense, like we're still supposed to pursue each other even now. So, I mean, it was challenging, but I needed it. Let's talk about our working relationship.
Right now?
Yeah, like let's talk about that. Was it an adjustment? How do we feel about being married, working together? Was it hard? Is that something that you wanted?
Yeah. Now this is just something like, I'm gonna say back in the day, but I did want my husband to sing I think Joe can sing, but you know that's another
Dang.
story for another day.
So you don't want me because I can't sing?
Whoa, you're going too far. I never said that. I am saying I was trying to have that, you know, sit down at the piano. At the piano, and we, you know, singing the gun, harmonizing, making music videos, posting them on YouTube. But it's okay. I really believe though that he can sing. He just, you know, doesn't try. And then when I try to ask him, he don't. But that's another conversation for another day. As far as working together, when we were dating, we kind of, well, I'm gonna say we worked, but we did a lot together when we were dating at a campus together. And so working together, I feel like that just made working together a little more easy. It also helped me see how it would be beforehand. Of course, it's a little different because when you're dating, you're not living together. We weren't living together at least. But that's not everybody's case. But for us, we were not living together. So we would see each other through the day, go our separate ways. But living together, now being married, like, it was like a thing of like not taking work home. And that didn't work all the time. In a sense of like not bringing some of the stress or, you know, some work throughs that were happening at work, bringing it home. I don't think it ever got to the point where it was like bad. Even now, like, I just have to be constantly remind myself, like, if we have a disagreement or if we, you know, have a little alt before work, to kind of like try to drop it and leave it and not, you know, let that fester on to everybody else that we work with.
That's definitely a challenge. And for me, like, it be ruining my, like, when we have those like little things.
It ruins my day.
It's one of my biggest pet peeves.
And I be trying to, you know, get over it, but then I'm working across or in the same office with the person, you know.
Yeah, because y'all, we literally work in the same office.
In the same office. And then everybody that works with us is basically, like, our staff is family, is very family oriented. My parents are pastors. My sister works there. It's me and him. Another girl who would be considered like family. She's my cousin, but we call her my auntie. She's there. And then you have our campus pastor. He's not family, but I mean, we all close enough. Like, it's a tight knit. So
everybody know.
Everybody, like, yeah, you can tell, like, y'all good, y'all straight.
Oh, they ain't vibing today.
Right. So that's just one of the main things. Because, I mean, everybody has their days, and we're not trying to, you know, present this picture perfect marriage, but because we all go through things. But I also don't, I'm not the type of person that I just want to sit in the office and just spill my business all over the place. Because everybody's perspective and everybody's view is different. And if it ain't point me in the right direction, I don't want it, I don't need it. And we back.
Back again.
Back from the Madhouse Buckies. The last question
Big
was
bucket,
about...
not the little one.
Not the little one. The last question was about work and home.
What's something...
You had a water.
I guess spiritually that's been on your heart.
Are you parched for... What you mean?
What's something spiritually that's been on your heart?
What do you mean?
Something you've been thinking about, like something that you've read recently, something that you've been just dwelling on, like spiritually. Spiritually.
What's spiritually been on my heart? Like the spiritual health of young adults. I just feel like we're in a generation where everybody is running to everything, like confusion. What is the stuff that people do? Like the beads and cards and it stems from a lack of something. Like, for many people it's deeper than that, but honestly that's been like the biggest thing that is on my heart. Like people truly knowing God for who He is, because I feel like many times I don't want to say me, but many times people, even young adults, know God through grandma and them, know God through others' relationship, or we know God through what He can do for us and not necessarily just for who He is. Ooh. And so honestly that's been a thing that has been on my heart, like seeing and helping and guiding young adults in like the right way, so that they can experience all of who He is and know Him for all of who He is, not just for a portion of what He's done in your life, because He's more than that. He's more than just Jehovah Jireh.
That's good.
He's more than that. But honestly that's been the main thing that has really been pressing on my heart.
Why do you think it?
What do you mean?
Like, why do you think, like, or I guess you kind of answered it. I was gonna say, like, why do you think, like, we're so quick to turn to like other stuff.
Because it's easy. And if you look at, I feel like, and I was telling you about this the other day, like, I think people view forgiveness the same way that they view going to other things, because a lot of people have grown up in the lifestyle of God did this to me and God wanted this to happen to me. And so that's why I feel like a lot of people have a hard time with forgiveness, or have a hard time with forgiving others, because it's like, well, God wanted this to happen, or God allowed this.
Jesus.
And so they look at forgiveness through the lens of, well, God did it, so if God did it and it was planned for me, why do I have to forgive him for something that like necessarily had to be done? But it's deeper than that. I hope it's making sense, because in my head I know what I'm trying to say.
That makes sense. You good.
That's a bit. Wow. Sorry, that was like a squirrel moment. But I feel like that's why it's just so easy, because it's like, well, everybody, God, this is what God wanted to happen to me. God allowed this to happen, or God did. So it's easier for people to just turn to what they think will help them, because it's a temporary fix.
Right.
But they don't realize that at the end of the day, it ends up spiraling into something else.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you in this rabbit hole needing true, legit, like, help and deliverance, because you have now opened the door to something that you cannot handle. But it looked easy for Shay Shay and Mimi and Quan and them.
Yeah.
It looked easy for Brent and Katie and, you know, and Alexis. It looked easy for them. And they doing good, doing all the extra stuff outside of what, you know, the stuff that you shouldn't be doing. But then when it gets to you, like, you done tapped into something you can't even, and they have too, but you realize it a little quicker.
I don't think like we understand that we opening doors when we do that stuff. Like, we just gotta get to the point where we just trust His way, and His way is it. We don't need to mix nothing. We don't need to add to nothing. It's just, I'm going with Jesus and I'm going with the book, and that's it.
That's it. And your life will be so much easier.
So much easier.
It's like we want to go with Jesus and the book and our plan. Like, for real, God, you can have it all. Your way and your plan is better.
Right.
If I would have tried to follow my way and my plan, like, would I be where I am now today? Probably not.
Probably not.
And we prolong where we need to be by doing it our way. Yep. And then at the end of the day, you end up saying this not working, and then you go back doing it God's way. Just do it His way from the jump. Girl, you save yourself money. For many people who can go to school and not in that, you know, using that degree, you save yourself all these loans that you've taken out.
Right.
Simply because you felt like my way was better.
My God.
Oh, what's been on your heart? Sorry.
I don't know, like, kind of in the same vein of like the whole young adult thing, young people like us, like our generation. There's been a couple things. Number one thing, I've seen it, like, cause you know we do a lot of different things. We got our hands in a couple different stuff, but I've seen it like it's a problem like with us that nobody can tell us about ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where that stems from. I've been trying to really trace it back. Like, does it stem from, you know, our parents, like, not being able to receive, you know, correction from them, or maybe not even having parents in our lives, like, so we've grown up just kind of doing our own thing. But I've been seeing, like, especially when we get to our 20s, we don't have it all figured out. Nope. But like, we're under this impression that we do. Nope. And so now we're coming into places and spaces. We're having some crazy stuff going on in our lives, but at the same time, we're not allowing anybody to speak into it. Mm-hmm. And I've just seen it recently.
Or allowing people to speak into it, but you only take from it what you think
what you
will work,
want.
what you want to hear. Or allowing people to speak into it, but because it did not ring a bell for you,
right? Or
because it just didn't give what you wanted it to give. Now it's like, well, I don't know. You gotta hear it for all of what it is. Eat the meat, spit out the fat. But half of the time, people be telling you, you just be like, well, I want somebody to butter me up like a biscuit.
I think it's dangerous. Just something I've been just thinking about. It's on my mind, as your dad said on Sunday. I think it's just dangerous to go underneath the impression that we see the whole of ourselves. Right. We don't, and that's the importance of having like community with the right people around us to kind of speak it. And again, I feel like because culture tells us, you know, 20s, we need to have it all figured out. We need to have this, we need to have that. You need your bag, you need this, you need that. Like, when 20s, I feel like our 20s was really made for development. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, go too deep, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Like, we read in the Bible that Jesus, you know, we hear about him at 12, what he did at 12, and then it was silent. We don't know what he did in his 20s until he got to age 30, and that's when he really stepped out. But, like, I think it's safe to say that during his 20s, like, he was in a season of development. And so I don't know. It's just been and I've seen it. I've seen it like people not take, feedback. You know what I'm saying, and not have that, not seek out accountability. And then I've also seen the people that are seeking it, and I just see the drastic difference in their quality of life.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so sad that we can't just. I don't know why we have this this knowledge that we just know it all.
It's just some know-it-alls.
Just to know it all. No, you need some people. You need some real deal people that are gonna check you and tell you about yourself. Like
Right.
Kyra, how you just answered that or how you just responded to that was wrong.
Legit.
Because
And
what
don't
it
say
does is that when you receive it, it can it literally accelerates your growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I have
become aware.
right now I have you who's maybe
Yeah,
a little bit more down the road. You can tell me, hey bro, you keep going, you take a right on that street, there's mad
Warning always coming
potholes.
for destruction. Warning always coming for
Right.
destruction. Always. You can find that in the word. Warning always comes before destruction.
Right. And
And
so
at the end of the day, we have free will. And so you're going to choose what you want.
right.
But depending on what you choose, you can set yourself back.
Right. And I think when you don't heed to that, like what you were just saying, when you don't listen to that feedback that was given or that correction that was brought, you'll stay stagnant. And then you wonder why your life's the way it is. Well, because you're not listening to nobody.
Yeah,
You're not listening.
that's true.
And I think the right approach to it, you got to come into those moments, and it's something you got to develop. But if you have the trusted voices in your life that are speaking into bringing the correction, you know that it's only to your benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So when those moments do come, I got to come into those moments and come into those rooms with a learner's hat. That's hard because you got to move yourself out the way.
Yep.
And so have your little moment where you man, I don't really know, who they talk, have your little moment, but you got to be able to come out of that and lean into that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's speak to the young people that want to be married. As a woman, a young woman, what do you think? Because everyone's just, I want a man, I want a man, I want a man, I want a man. Talk to me a little bit about that. How did you know that you were ready to step into marriage, especially with us being young?
For me, it felt right. My main thing that I had always said was the first person that I date is the first person that I date is the one I want to marry. And so I just growing up, I never dated anyone. Besides him, never dated anyone. Simply because
I was your one.
people probably thought I was mean, which, I probably was just right being mean to everybody. I don't know. But then, two, I just really didn't want to put myself in the position of being hurt or even getting close to the line of doing anything with anybody that I didn't feel like I would spend any of my future with. And so for me, I feel like it was different because...
Wait, so you're telling me that you didn't kiss nobody?
No.
You didn't make out with nobody?
No.
You didn't have sex with nobody?
No.
Jesus.
No. I had respect for myself. That was something that I held very, I took pride in that. For real. Legit. Because I had saw it play out in other people's lives. Where's that plane going? I saw it play out in other people's lives where they got into all these relationships and did these things and they ended up hurt, and I just did not want that for myself. And so when he just came into my path, I was just for me it felt right. It wasn't necessary. I had I can't say I had peace within myself. I had peace for my family. I got the yes from my dad, the yes from my mom. They were very shocked when I came out. I was just hey, not shocked in a bad way, but they was just they just, I don't know what they expect. I don't know. They didn't expect anything bad, or they didn't expect anything different.
They were just shocked you got
right.
a guy.
But
oh, man.
So honestly, I'm telling you, it's like the Lord orchestrated the story. I just didn't go in with my plan. The only thing that I did say, and I had always said growing up, I wanted to be married 21, 22, 20, 21, 22. And that ended up happening. But I mean, outside of that, it wasn't if I don't have this, if I don't have this, if I don't have this, I'm not married. No, I prayed about it. It felt right. My biggest thing was getting okay from my parents, and I did. So I don't feel like I'm answering your question. I feel like now what many girls are doing is they're just so quick to just wanting to be married. So my question, I guess this is is what concerns me. Why do you want to be married so bad? Like, granted,
talk
there
about
is someone for somebody out there, but what is your reasoning? Because are you just wanting to be married for the benefits of marriage, or do you truly want to be married and like?
Do you understand what
work
marriage actually is?
right? Because
This
marriage
hard.
it starts off, you know, in that honeymoon phase that everybody talk about, and then before you know it, like the trunk lift, and now you have things that you have to work through together. Like now you have to push each other towards better, and so it's not always Shrek and Shrek and Fiona running through that flower field.
Yeah.
It's not that. Like, it's work.
It's real life.
As my dad says, marriage works, but you have to be able to work it. And I feel like many times, many young adults now, we just want the marriage and we don't want the work. And that's an issue. And it's very sad that because you want the marriage so bad, but you don't want the work, you can cop out easy. And it's just like, well, this ain't it.
You are preaching
I
uphill.
deserve better. I deserve more. But what about the work? Like, you have to work for everything. Everything takes some work. And so
every day is work.
I guess for me, what made me realize, okay, cool, I can take this on. I do feel like I'm capable. Was when I laid my pride and my stuff to the side and was like, when I take this step, one, ain't no going back. We won't play that over here. But two, I have to be willing to work through all of these communication issues. I have to be willing to work through it for the betterment of us, because it's no longer me working through it for us, because we 3 years in now, and if I was to continue down the same road of communication or communicating the same, where would I be? Nowhere. So it's more of a realization thing. But I guess the thing that just, like I said, my story was kind of different, so my approach to this is kind of different. But I guess my question would be to the girls that just be like, my man, where my man? Like, why are you so just give me my man, like, he gonna come.
What are you doing in the meantime?
But what are you doing in the meantime? Are you working on yourself? Are you making sure that you're able to now take on this role and this duty as a wife and do everything that comes along with it? Are you able to communicate when it's hard? Are you able to work? Like, that's what it boils down to. Are you able to work?
Work.
And I don't mean like work just making pancakes and eggs in the morning. No, like, are you able to work when y'all have a disagreement and you got to talk through it? Are you able to work? For real, marriage works. It just has to be work. But before, like, prior to being marriage, I don't think you just got to go in all perfect. I think that's another thing that people are presenting now. Like, get yourself together. You always gonna be a work in progress. Right. Because even when y'all get together, he may bring out something out or notice something in you that you didn't notice in yourself. And now you got to work through that. Right. So I don't think we don't ever get to a point of I've arrived. No. We should always. Some people feel like they've arrived, and, that's okay. But we should always be striving to get better, striving to work, striving to better ourselves in every area. Right. Let him find you. You right here trying to find him yourself, girl. It don't say she that find a man. That Bible, that word says he that finds a wife, finding a good thing and obtaining favor in the Lord. Girl, bye.
Goodbye.
You out here with your goggles trying to find that man. No wonder. Be for real. Come on now. Let that man find you. Let him see you for who you are.
Let him find you.
And value and honor that.
My God.
That was another thing. I won't go be with no man. We not competing. We in this together. Right. And we're not tearing each other down. We're building each other. You compliment me, I compliment you. We in this together. It's not like, no. Hand in hand. Maybe we skipping together. Come on now. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's challenging ministry for you right
now. I think for me, challenge is, well, one team I inherited. So, like, when we moved from Birmingham to Mobile, I'm the production and the creative director. So the production team I inherited, that was already an established team. So I was kind of stepping into something. But on the creative side, that wasn't a thing that we had at the time when I first came down here. So part of my tasking was to, get that launched off the ground. But I think in both worlds, I think the challenge for me has been developing the teams. Because one I had to develop, another I had to basically create and develop. So it's like a twofold thing. And also with us being, us being younger, trying to figure it all out. Our first time, like, there was a lot that, so when I first came on, I kind of put my attention to the production team and got that, into a good, pretty solid place. But then on this creative side, it's definitely that developing that, getting leaders in place, getting, figuring out how we're gonna run as a team. There's really no handbook.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we love the college and the place that we came from, but it's different when like you're learning about it, and now you're actually having to put those things like into practice and figure out what's gonna work and what's not gonna work.
Right.
So at the heart of it though is ministry, so it's people. And so like my big focus has just been relationships, building those relationships, and worrying about the how, because if I take care of the how, it's always going to take care of the what.
Right.
But
taking care of the how is always going to take care of the what.
I think a lot of times we just like, and I had to change my prayer. I was like, Lord, send them, send the creative, send the, and Lord was like, no, they there. I already sent them. You have to cultivate them now.
Right.
And then when I caught that, I was like, wow. So I kind of stopped waiting for, the perfect person to arrive. And now I'm, building that person to be, what our church needs.
Yeah.
So that has been kind of like a challenge for me. Also trying to figure out, my schedule. I'm trying to get more discipline in my schedule and actually have things like scheduled out.
I think overall, and I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a challenge, it's just something that I'm working at. I can tend to be quiet in some settings. And so I think the thing
church mouse quiet.
I am learning is when to, because I don't have an issue. My issue ain't talking too much. My issue is actually talking. I'm gonna say my issue, but my thing is talking and actually, how could I say it?
Talking.
I'm just very. I think for me,
you have a lot of great things to say.
I gotta stop saying that. A lot of times I'm overthinking.
This bridge is really narrow.
One, it is. A lot of times I'm overthinking one, and then two, I'm just the type of person being that we come from a place where we learn and we was hands-on with some things. I want to be very careful in how I approach or express things, or even try to share some things, because I don't want it to seem as if, or I don't want it to come across as if like what was working when I was gone ain't working because I learned another way to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm tracking.
And so I'm just very careful. I also don't want people to think, we're far past that. We've been gone for maybe, 2 years now?
Yeah.
And so I think I've gotten a little better at that, but I just think overall, like, bringing stuff to the table.
That's good.
And speaking up, speaking out. So
this is like a full circle.
Let me show y'all how to eat it.
I know.
Sir, you owe me from that time.
Let me be a backyard again right now. Dog, you gonna have me really look like backyard again. I had fries and I only eating the cake. Where's the spoon?
Tell me who has the bigger bag? Joseph James. Joseph got the big
Where's the fork?
I don't know. Look at him, y'all. Where's the fork? I mean, you should keep us on this road, though. Y'all, one thing about my auntie, one thing about my family, they can cook. But one thing about my auntie,
woo!
She can make
that thing right there.
the flavor.
Y'all, and this is one of the things about marriage that I'm just like, because I didn't even like sweets until I got married to this girl, to this woman of God. That is very true. You can ask my mom.
Boy, you used to tell for sweet.
I didn't even eat my own birthday cake growing up.
I never enjoyed
But it was literally on our wedding night. Because I'm not a big cake guy. I don't even like sweets. The most I'll have is like some Oreos.
That's sweet.
On our wedding night, I was like, let me just
That's
try
like
the,
you don't drink coffee, but you drink.
Let me just try the wedding cake. You know what I'm saying? Let me just see what this whole cake thing is about. And y'all, it was like something got locked in my brain, like. And ever since then, I've been just.
He also says that he doesn't drink coffee, but he drinks cold from Dunkin'.
Let me tap in
What
now.
would you call that, guys?
You just be hogging this cake.
Woo! Ah!
You're hogging the cake, girl.
That back is getting really mad.
Your backyard friends, your backyard again.
And your back is really big.
And your back is really big.
Is your back
and your back is really big. You've got the biggest back in this whole wide world. I swear I've never seen that big back before. That's why
But this the game.
every day you're.
I've lost my little weight and I refuse to gain it back this week. I'm gonna have to go run around somebody's neighborhood. Cause I refuse. Maybe we just crossed over. Let me see. Roll me and gave me the victory. I got a reason to
We're gonna
pray.
save this song way back.
No, sir.
That's some big back behavior.
Now you doing too much.
That's real big back behavior.
Everybody said we're gonna say this on the ride
Yo,
back.
you pacing your cake out?
That's insane.
That's insane, bro. Oh my gosh. If you pace your sweets out and decide what days and time you're gonna eat,
You got a problem.
scheduling your back getting big. Yeah, that's some big back behavior.
You have a problem. I won't let a rock cry out for me. No, never let a
Well, in the meantime, y'all, love y'all. In the meantime, follow us on IG, subscribe, and we'll see y'all for the next one. Peace.